Boys and girls, it is Christmas Eve. So I have found a special story all about Christmas Eve. It is called the Nutcracker. And this is a Nutcracker doll. And you might have seen lots of them in the shops. So I'm going to tell you the story about the Nutcracker doll. See if you can imagine a Christmas like this. There were no sweets, no fruit chews or lollipops, no Turkish delight, no cherry drops, no cough candy or chocolate fudge, no lemon sherbets or mint humbugs. When I was a girl, Frau Stahlbaum began, there were sweets everywhere. There were even sweet shops. The children stared at their mother in disbelief. Doesn't look like a very happy place, does it? Now, hurry up, Fritz, she said. That's Fritz there, the little brother. You'll be late for the party. Fritz buttoned his jacket and Clara pulled on her party shoes. Where have all the sweets gone? Clara asked. Well, I have a theory, whispered their mother mysteriously. I think the Mouse King stole them. Their eyes widened. They say he has magic powers, Frau Stahlbaum continued. They say he turned a boy into a Nutcracker doll. Oh, that's a rubbish story, declared Fritz rudely. I'm going down to the party now. You too, Clara. Off you go, said her mother, smiling at her own mischief. Dr. Stahlbaum was already making a toast when Fritz and Clara arrived. This is Christmas Eve, he said. We have such a treat in store. All the toy makers have come with a present for every single child here tonight. The children scurried about excitedly. Fritz had spotted a bright green train and made sure that he got there first. Clara looked carefully about and saw that one toy maker had brought with him a Nutcracker doll. May I have this toy, Herr Drosselmeyer? She asked politely. Of course you can, Clara, said the delighted toy maker. The Nutcracker was in her arms for only 2 minutes when she heard someone hiss. Give me that Nutcracker and I will give you some chocolate. Clara backed away. But Fritz had seen the chocolate from the other side of the room. You can have my engine, he boomed. No, replied the woman. I want the Nutcracker. I wonder who it is. Clara stepped away, clutching the doll. Don't be silly, Clara, Fritz said, grabbing it from her, but she held onto it with all her might. Fritz pulled so hard that the Nutcracker's arm broke. The strange lady disappeared. Clara found Herr Drosselmeyer, the toy maker, just as the party was ending. Can you mend him? She sobbed. There, there, he soothed. Come tomorrow morning, he'll be good as new. there's the Nutcracker with the broken arm. But Clara could not wait. As she crept downstairs, she saw the sleeping toy maker with the Nutcracker doll at his side. A shadow was creeping towards them. "No!" cried Clara in alarm. Herr Drosselmeyer woke with a start. It was the strange woman again, who let out a furious squeak. She threw off her hat, and there stood the Mouse King, baring his teeth. "What are you staring at?" he growled. The Nutcracker slowly opened his wooden mouth and replied, You puffed up furball." Suddenly, 1,000 mice poured into the hall. The Nutcracker turned to look. As he did so, the Mouse King knocked him down with a sword. "Now you're for it," the Mouse King laughed. The Mouse King got ready to attack the Nutcracker. Clara thought very quickly. She took off one of her slippers and threw it at him. The Mouse King dropped his sword, and the Nutcracker seized his chance and stabbed the king through the heart. A magical mist encircled the Nutcracker. "Look, Clara," Drosselmeyer said. "He's turning back into my nephew, Hans Peter." Hans Peter jumped to his feet. "We must follow the mice," he cried. "They will be taking him to their secret hideaway. We must go now." So it was really the toy maker's nephew all along. The boy ran off after the mice procession. Clara and the toy maker followed closely behind. Through the door they went, hurrying along the silent streets that led to the town square. The mice stopped. Hans Peter looked at Clara. "Just you watch," he said. The mice began to scurry about in a large circle. A strange thing happened. The stone slabs on the square began to move. The stones seemed to slide away. "Take a deep breath," said Hans Peter. "You won't believe your eyes." A delicious beam of light shone on their faces. What do you think they're going to find? The light grew brighter and brighter until they could see a vast cave full of sweets. There were wine gums and caramels, chewy toffees and licorice whirls, barley sugar and sugar creams, aniseed twists and jelly beans. They shone and twinkled like precious jewels. "What is this place?" asked Herr Drosselmeyer. "This is the land of sweets," came a tiny voice from far below. It was the Sugar Plum Fairy. She flew out of the cave and over their heads. "The wicked Mouse King is dead and we are free," she trilled. The Sugar Plum Fairy waved her wand. The ground began to shake. The sweets bubbled up from below. They danced out of the cave and into the night. They danced in through letterboxes and down through chimneys. Empty shops began to fill up with delicious candies. The Sugar Plum Fairy laughed. "It's time to put some sweetness back into everybody's life." Clara watched with wonder as every sweet and every chocolate left the cave below. When the last sweet had gone, the mice poured in. The stones moved once again, and the cave was resealed. Out in the square, nothing stirred, not even a mouse. Clara picked up a golden toffee from the ground. "Tomorrow we will play together in the snow," she beamed at Hans Peter. "I'll meet you outside the sweet shop," he replied. So the toy maker and Hans Peter took Clara home, and the sugar plum fairy laughed from above to see such a happy ending. So that is the story of the Nutcracker. And boys and girls, I hope you have a really happy and safe Christmas with your family. Bye bye.